Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And real quick before I get into the topic of today's video, I just want to say I'm not here to fat shame Zion Williamson. But I've gotten to a point now where the Zion Williamson situation has become very concerning for not only the Pelicans, but for Zion Williamson. And what really led me to making this video, and it's kind of a conspiracy theory, I will say that. Like, this is probably the first conspiracy theory video you're ever going to see from me. Hopefully the last. But I decided to Google Zion Williamson's weight. Mostly because people were talking about it on Twitter not too long ago. And I found a Yahoo Sports article that says that Zion Williamson currently weighs 330 pounds, okay? 330 pounds is getting into offensive lineman territory, okay? Like, the heaviest player in the NFL weighs 346 pounds, and if Zion Williamson keeps going the way that he is, 340 is not outside of the ballpark, you know what I'm saying? He's already 330. And I wouldn't be surprised at this point if he's like 335, you know? And the main reason I'm making this video is mostly because I've been hearing a lot of things. I mean, a lot of things about this particular situation. You know, first being the issues with the Pelicans organization and Zion Williamson. Mostly because Zion has his family members coming out saying shit about the front office and the Pelicans organization as a whole, and like how they're not building around him and he's threatening to leave. And, you know, there's that awkward situation with the vice president of basketball operations, David Griffin, who, by the way, doesn't have the greatest reputation in the world. If I'm correct, it's pretty obvious LeBron didn't like him, so I'm not really surprised that Zion doesn't like him. And, you know, there was that really weird meeting they had where I guess he was playing the piano or something while Zion was there or whatever. Just super awkward shit, man. And I keep hearing all these things that Zion is disgruntled with the training staff and the Pelicans organization, that, you know, they're not, you know, handling his injury the way that he wants them to. Basically, Zion wants to play, and they are preventing him from playing, and if I'm the Pelicans, I don't know if I can be mad at this. And the reason I say that is mostly because, well, Zion Williamson is in a predicament of epic proportions, and the reason I'm going to say that is because, first of all, he's got the foot injury, so obviously he's not going to play with the foot injury, and he's definitely not going to play with the foot injury while weighing 330 pounds. That's like a fucking nightmare waiting to happen. And if the training staff did let him ever do that, they deserve to be fucking fired. But it's just the idea. We have reached a point in the Zion Williamson saga in the Pelicans organization at this point where even if Zion Williamson's foot is fully healed, okay, you do not, under any circumstance, let him go out there and play basketball at 330 fucking pounds. Okay, you just don't. And main reason being, 330 pounds is a lot of weight coming down on his frame. And he's only, what, 6'6", 6'7", if we're being generous. And I just think to myself, right, like, I'm hearing all this stuff about how, you know, he wants to play basketball. And the unfortunate part of this is I don't really believe him. Because Zion Williamson is now at a point where even if his foot is fully healed, okay, he weighs 330 pounds. We're looking at like the Shawn Kemp of the modern day NBA. If you guys don't know, Shawn Kemp played the same position. He played power forward for the Seattle Supersonics back in the day. Very, very similar play style to Zion. He played above the rim, down low, was a 23-10 guy, I think, for most of his career. Excuse me. I could be wrong, but I think he shot like 55% from the field. And Zion is in a similar situation where I feel like in the process of all this, he's trying to eat himself out of the Pelicans organization, but in the process is going to eat himself out of the NBA. And like I said, I'm not here to fat shame him, but it's concerning at this point. Okay, we're talking about a player who easily has to lose about probably 70, 80 pounds just to even really see the floor again. Okay, and really see the floor at a rate where we can be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he entered the NBA at 285 pounds. That alone, right, is on the crust of being able to play and not being able to play because of your weight issues, right? And I just think to myself, Shawn Kemp, okay, went through an issue where he weighed 280 pounds. He was out of the league or something. I think there was one offseason where he gained a shit ton of weight, and that was it for him. Okay, like, he tried to make an NBA comeback. It failed because he just wasn't in shape. And I worry that that's going to be the same fate that Zion Williamson suffers. Now, I'm going to go out here and make a bold statement that there's like a 60-65% chance that we never see Zion Williamson touch an NBA court again because of his weight and the constant injuries. He's not the most fundamentally sound basketball player ever, but I say 65% because he's still young. Okay, 60-65% because he's still young and he has the ability to drop the weight. Okay, he has the ability to still become a better player, but if you don't drop the weight, I find it hard to believe that even if the Pelicans waive him, like, who's going to give him a shot? You know what I'm saying? And I think to myself, if he really wanted to be back on an NBA court, he would be doing at least something to keep his weight down or try to get skinnier, and he's just not doing that. Part of me thinks he's just sitting home playing 2K and eating fucking Taco Bell all day, because if you don't get to 330 pounds by moving around and doing shit. You know what I'm saying? You get to 330 pounds from 285, right, by sitting around all day and doing fucking nothing. And I think if Zion Williamson really wanted to get back on the court, it's obvious he can walk. I don't know how much ability he has or mobility he has in that foot since, having the surgery and stuff. But, like, part of me thinks, like, there's so much other extra shit that he could be doing that he's just not. Like, walking on a fucking treadmill or swimming in a swimming pool. That's a great way to lose weight. People do that shit all the time. Now, I understand that people lose weight at different rates. Okay? Rhyming accidentally. But I just think to myself, I feel like Zion Williamson is trying to tank his trade value, so the Pelicans can't trade him, because I don't know anybody who's going to at this point. He's injury prone, he's not fundamentally sound, his game hasn't really evolved, and he's 330 pounds. So I don't know what team is going to trade for him. Part of me thinks he's trying to tank his trade value and get waived and then go to another team and fix his situation, lose weight and become the player we all wanted him to be. But even if you're another team in free agency, what team is going to take a shot on an injury-prone player who weighs 330 pounds? I would assume, okay, a smart organization or teams that are interested in Zion are going to request him to drop 50 pounds at the least. Okay, just to see if he's fucking serious about this. Like, get back to what your original draft weight was of 285 pounds, 280 pounds, and then we'll work from there to see if you're dedicated. Because it's very easy to become nonchalant with being overweight. Okay, I know people that are overweight who just say fuck it and that's it. And Zion Williamson is at a point where his NBA career is at risk. And if I'm the Pelicans, man, I'm a little shocked that they're not forcing him to at least do some type of activity. I don't know what that activity is, but it's like swimming, walking on a treadmill. Like, I watched him walk out off the bench and greet RJ Barrett the other day, so he can clearly walk, for how long, I don't know. But he's not happy with the rehab process, and he's gaining weight, and I just think to myself, man, like, he entered the NBA overweight. At 330 pounds, man, there's not a cold chance in hell that if I'm the Pelicans, I'm letting him take the court with the way that he plays. If he gets into, the passing lanes and steals a ball and runs down the other end of the court and dunks it, right? And even though his foot is healed, at 330 pounds, you risk injuring that again. 330 pounds is a lot of weight coming down on knees, legs, your entire frame, man. And I just feel like we're all kind of being bullshitted, and I just think to myself, if I loved something, right? If I was truly passionate about something, I would do everything in my power to make sure I can keep doing that. And Zion Williamson is just not doing that, We have guys like LeBron and Tom Brady and stuff like that, I mean, Tom Brady just retired, but, we have guys like that who are, LeBron's 37? Tom Brady was 44, and Tom Brady cared so much about fucking football that he took care of his body up till, 44 years old to continue playing the game. And I just think to myself, if all this stuff about Zion was true, that he wants to play again and all this other stuff, right? Like, he would be making sure that he could play. He would be doing something to make sure that he remains in playing shape, and he's just not doing that. So, I don't know, man. You know what? We'll have to wait and see, but I really, really fear that it's going to be at least 1 to 2 years before we see Zion Williamson ever touch a court again, if that. Because the Pelicans are taken this year, guys. I mean, it's obvious at this point. They're, 18-32? So they're not winning anything anytime soon. So they're not even incentivized to bring Zion Williamson back this year. And at the same time, it's like, even if he doesn't play this year, you have an entire fucking offseason. What's he gonna do in the offseason? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many questions right now around Zion Williamson that I just feel like he's trying to eat his way out of the Pelicans organization, and they're gonna waive him. They're not gonna trade him because I don't know anybody who's gonna trade for him. And he's gonna enter free agency, and nobody's gonna want him because it's like, how do you justify having a 330-pound power forward on your team who's injury prone? So anyway, guys, that's it for me. Tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on this. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. This has been the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.